Hello everyone, I am Elite 4 member Azure, and this is a new thing I'm trying. I'm coming out with a new and hopefully good moveset for Pokemon that are normally not used. The goal for this is to show you trainers out there how to make your favorite Pokemon or Pokemon that will catch players off guard useful and strong. I chose to do the first episode on Stoutland because he's very near and dear to me. I've played Pokemon since, forever. And it was my first ever video game I owned. However, I didn't get good at the game until around Generation 5. I did like every normal kid did, and I just powered up my starter and had them beat the entire game for me. You know how that goes. Just only use your starter, and when your starter gets taken out, you basically lose. But in Gen 5, I wanted to do something different. So I promised myself that this time I would actually catch Pokemon and train them and have a decent team. I wouldn't rely on one Pokemon too heavily. And the Pokemon I first did this with was the first Pokemon I ever caught in the game, Lillipup. Lillipup was cute, adorable, and I immediately loved him. And as my team progressed, my Snivy and my Lillipup were the only non-changing members of the team. Like, eventually, because you can't get to everyone, I'd switch out different members of the team for stronger ones. But Lillipup was one of the ones that kept growing, kept being strong, and it grew perfectly with my Snivy. Like, those two were in sync. Stoutland was also one of the Pokemon that was in my Hall of Fame. Yep, I beat the entire game with Pokemon League champion with the Stoutland, and it was amazing. Because when it was a Lillipup, it'd evolve, and then evolve again, and it was so reliable. And because of that, to this day, Stoutland is one of my favorites, and I want to see him, be more popular than he is, because he's really good, so I want to see him do really well in battle. Alright, so to start off, to get a Stoutland, you need to either catch a Herdier or a Lillipup. A Lillipup will evolve into a Herdier by leveling up at level 16. And to get a Stoutland from a Herdier, you need to just get the Herdier to level up to level 32. This is very similar to how most starters are, which makes it perfect to go through the game with, because it grows at the same rate, and you just feel a sense of accomplishment every time you use one. Stoutland's only notable uses in the games are by the two gym leaders, Sharon and Lenora. And for anime appearances, Stoutland's most prominent appearance in the anime was being a father figure to Ash's Litten before Ash caught it, and then it died. I know, very depressing and sad. Stoutland is also one of the ride Pokemon introduced into Generation 7 in Pokemon games Sun and Moon, where you were able to use it to search for items. In every form of Pokemon, I feel that Stoutland is underrated, underrepresented, and just not as great as it should be. Stoutland is actually in the PU tier in Pokemon Smelgon, which hurts me because that is the lowest tier any Pokemon can ever be. Unlike the other tiers, OU standing for overused, UU standing for underused, RU standing for rarely used, NU standing for never used, and PU stands for the smell. It's saying that it stinks. And that just really hurts me because it's so important to me. And I personally use Stoutland in Pokemon Showdown, OU, all the time, and it does really well. Stoutland is a pure normal type, so it's only weak to fighting type attacks, but it has no resistances, and it's immune to ghost type moves. But it's kind of a double-edged sword because ghost types are immune to normal type moves. I would give Stoutland an adamant nature while putting most of the EVs in attack and HP, while the remaining EVs go to special defense. When you max out its attack stat, it goes to 350, which is really good. It's as high as most of the best physical attackers in OU. I also give it a Silk Scarf, so its stab normal type moves are even stronger. For those of you who don't know, stab stands for same type attribute bonus. That means a normal type using a normal type move, the attack will be 1.5 times stronger if a normal type would say using a dark type move or anything else. Any Pokemon that uses a move that of its typing it will get a times 1.5 boost, which is pretty great and really good incentive for you to do that. It's bulky enough with 216 points in defense and 217 points in special defense. Having the Intimidate ability will make him last even longer and might throw a wrench into your opponent's plans by making a very strong attacker's only average. But this will also count for Stoutland as well. With Stoutland's defense and Intimidate, it can take a hit from some of the best attackers, and with its massive attack set, it can kill or win by surviving and dishing out a lot of damage. The first move I suggest to giving Stoutland to make it really good and competitive is Retaliate. Stoutland using Retaliate is how I got through Pokemon Gen 5, and it is one of my favorite moves. So Retaliate is an amazing move, which is normal type, which means it's stab, but the power of Retaliate actually doubles if one of your Pokemon fainted last turn. So if you can revenge kill it, like if your Pokemon faints, you revenge kill it with Retaliate, with the Silk Scarf boosting it, and having it double the power with stab. And with coming from Stoutland's high attack stat, will guarantee massive amounts of damage. Stoutland will learn this amazing move naturally at level 36. So about the time your starter Pokemon fully evolves, Retaliate will be able to one-hit kill almost anything that doesn't resist normal types. Retaliate makes Stoutland the perfect revenge killer, but to beware of entry hazards, because if you switch Stoutland, then you can utilize this move again and again, but with Stealth Rock, Spikes, and Toxic Spikes, you got to be careful of switching, because then Stoutland is going to get hurt every time he comes into battle. If your Pokemon didn't faint, but you want to use Stoutland, another good stab move, one of the best ones is Return. How Return works is the more friendship the Pokemon has with you, the stronger it will be. It can go up to 102 base attack, but with the Silk Scarf and also being a same type attribute bonus attack, then it just gets magnified even higher. And it rivals using Giga Impact, because Giga Impact does more damage, but with the cost of you having to recharge. So it's a little bit more practical use, since with Stoutland you can just keep using Return over and over again, and it'll do massive amounts of damage. Return has the potential to be one of the strongest normal physical moves in the game. Next up is for some coverage type moves, because there are a lot of types that resist normal, such as Steel and Rock. So for those types, I suggest giving Stoutland Reversal, because it's a good covering move, because it's super effective against Steel and Rock. And Reversal is a fighting type move that gets stronger with less HP than Stoutland has. And since Stoutland's pretty bulky, thanks to its max 216 defense and max 217 special defense, packed with Intimidate, Reversal will make Stoutland a force to be reckoned with. To foes that will normally want to wall him out, Reversal gives Stoutland a move that will be super effective against what normal types would normally resist, and also be super effective against normal types themselves. The longer Stoutland is out there fighting, the more Reversal will do. So Reversal has the potential to do 200 points of 200 base attack, but that's if your Stoutland only has around 5 HP, which is very possible because, like I said, Stoutland can take a lot of hits, and thanks to Intimidate, it just gets harder to knock down. Okay, so the last move is another good coverage move for Stoutland to know, and that is Crunch. Our Ghost types are very weak to Dark-type moves, which is Crunch is, and they would completely wall out the other attacks that Stoutland has, such as Reversal, Return, and Retaliate. None of those affect Ghost types, but Crunch, packed behind Stoutland's massive attack stat, will do a lot of damage to Ghost types. Crunch is very useful, especially since it has 20% chance to lower the target opponent's defense stat. So if you use Crunch, it could lower your opponent's defense stat, so the next one will keep doing damage, and then your opponent's defense stat will keep going down, and the more damage Stoutland can do to it. It helps Stoutland take down tanks and allows the final bit of coverage Stoutland needs. Crunch can also help take down walls because of the possibility to lower its defense. Stellan is tanky enough to take a Fire Blast from a Chandelure and then hit it with a Crunch and knock it out. You can learn Crunch as a Herdier at level 24, and like I said, my favorite item to use with Stellan is the Silk Scarf because it gives it more stab power, and it also works with 2 of the moves listed already, those being Return and Retaliate. If you have another Pokemon with Intimidate, then you can keep switching between that Pokemon and Stoutland, so every time you do, your opponent's physical attack will get lowered a stage and lower to the point where either you can take it out easily or your opponent will have to switch. With Intimidate, one of the best uses I found is having it go against a Dragon type, which you know will use Dragon Dance, such as Salamence Dragonite. That way, it doesn't get a physical attack boost, and then you can hit it with massive damage with something like Return. And then when they try to do Dragon Dance again, you can either kill it, or you could probably live the attack and then kill it in either 1 or 2 hits. Things to look out for are switches into Ghost types, and be very wary of Will-O-Wisp, because it will cut Stoutland's attack in half. It will keep burning Stoutland some damage. Will-O-Wisp is very, fear for almost every physical attacker, so it still makes Stoutland worth running. In my opinion, Stoutland is slow, but he can take many hits. You just have to be careful that the hit isn't that big, like having it boosted by multiple Dragon Dances. So don't have your opponent Dragon Dance 3 times, your Stoutland coming with Intimidate, your Stoutland getting knocked down and be like, what happened? That was just obvious. You just have to be careful on what you switch into. Intimidate also can also stall from boosting Dragon Dances from Zygarde, Salamence, and etc. And it can do some damage with its Return boosted Silk Scarf. Alright, so that is it for this video. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and also in the comments, tell me which Pokemon you want me to cover next. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.